Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's learn computer science.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are exploring a concept in computer science that helps everything run more smoothly: buffers. Syllabus reference: buffers as part of Unit 3, and it should include show understanding of the use of buffers. So we'll cover all this in today's video along with some past paper questions. Okay, so let's start. First of all, what exactly is a buffer? Okay, so a buffer is a small area of temporary memory used to hold data during transfer. You can think of it as a waiting room for data, sitting between two devices like a computer and a printer, especially when they run at a different speed. Without it, the computer would have to wait around for the slower device to finish, and we really don't want that. Yeah, we want our computers to work and respond really fast. Okay, so that's where buffers, their role come into play. Okay, next, why do we use buffers? Let's understand that, and why are they so useful? Now, modern computers, they have a very fast CPU, but many devices they communicate with, like printers, speakers, hard disks, they are much slower than that. So if the CPU had to wait every time, it would be like, a Formula One car stuck behind a bullock cart. So a buffer solves this. It allows the CPU to quickly send data to the buffer and move on to its next task. Okay, so fast computer, they send data to the buffer, and then from buffer it is sent to the printer, so that CPU can keep on doing its other tasks while printer is printing the documents. Now, from exam point of view, let's understand how buffers are used. Now, this is very important because from here you will be picking pointers while answering your questions in the exam, right? So here is how the process works step by step. First of all, CPU sends data to the buffer, not directly to the device. Yeah. And the output device, whether it's a printer or speaker, takes data from the buffer slowly. While that's happening, CPU continues with other tasks. And if the buffer gets almost empty, the device sends a signal called an interrupt saying that they need more data. And if the buffer is full, another interrupt is sent saying stop sending data for now. So that, it again reaches to a level where it can again start asking the CPU to send more data. So that's how this process runs. Now, let's look closely how interrupts and buffers they work together. An interrupt is basically like a tap on the CPU shoulder, a signal basically saying that, hey, I need something or I need your attention. Okay. In buffer situations, if the buffer is low, the interrupt says refill me. And if the buffer is full, it says pause sending data for now. So this way, buffers and interrupts, they work together so that CPU is not wasting its time. Okay. So that's kind of a smart communication between the CPU and the devices using interrupts and buffers. Now, how these are used in real life with various devices you use in the computer, this table shows it all. So when you're printing a document, your computer sends all the data quickly to the print buffer. The printer then prints at its own speed, no rush, no delays. Okay. Or for example, headsets or speakers, when you're listening to the music, audio is first sent to the sound buffer. This ensures your song plays smoothly, even if your computer is busy doing something else. And for video streaming, if you talk about, you must have seen that buffering icon. That's your video preloading into a buffer so it doesn't pause midway if your internet slows down. Same is the case when you save a file. When you save a file, the data is first written to a buffer, then slowly stored on your hard disk. And that way it's very quick and safe. Now let's have a look at some exam style questions, past paper questions. This particular question I have picked from May June 2024, paper component 1-1, of course. So this question says the video doorbell uses a buffer. Describe how the video doorbell will use the buffer. Now, this is basically a two-marker question, and you need to write at least 2 points to get full marks for this. Okay, so you need to mention about the speed difference, how data is stored temporarily, and how the CPU continues working. So these are basically main pointers. So I have mentioned all the pointers here. You can have a look, and any 2 pointers, if you mention, you'll get full marks for this. Let's have a look at another question. So this question is basically they are asking uh, about how a buffer is used when data is transmitted between a computer and a VR headset. Again, you need to talk about signals being sent when the buffer is empty or full and how the CPU responds. So main process remains the same. However, you need to tweak or modify your answer according to the situation which is given. So here, this question is basically of 3 marks. You need to write at least 3 pointers. So the points which are mentioned in the marking scheme are the buffer is used as a temporary store for data going to the headset. Data is transferred into the buffer by the computer. Data is retrieved from the buffer by the headset when the buffer is empty or full, and interrupt is sent to the computer requesting more data, stopping further data being sent. When the headset has enough data, needs more data, and interrupt is sent by the headset to the computer to stop sending data from the buffer. So any 3 points, if you write, you'll get full marks. So that's all about buffers. As a tip, I would say in your exam answers, you do mention, buffer as a temporary storage, explain role of interrupt, and show how it keeps CPU and devices working in harmony. Okay, so that's all. In next video, I'll come back with another topic of Unit 3. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.